Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris Rush coming to you again from Allhandsondeck Radio, and I'm sitting here at the Abolition Abortion Conference, and I just heard a powerful word from Stephen Cooper, who is the son of Don Cooper, who you guys heard from earlier. He brought a powerful message on the need for young people to be a part of ending abortion and abolition, and I just wanted you to meet him. Say what's up.
Hey everyone.
So, just give us your heart real quick. I mean, why do you think it's important for teenagers, young adults to, take up the call for ending abortion?
Well, ultimately, it's because it's such a significant issue. As I was talking earlier in my speech, there's nothing that compares to it in our society today. There's nothing that's happening on such a grand scale to people all around us. And it applies to the youth especially because it's something that impacts all of us. It really is happening right in our culture, our peer group, that our friends, the people in our high schools, in our colleges, or in our those of us who work, our coworkers, they're the prime targets of abortion, the young people. And so those of us who are Christians and are following Christ really bear an extra responsibility because we're in that situation and we're faced with this culture of death all the time, on a daily basis. Right,
and Planned Parenthood, they target, I don't know if they come into your schools, but they go into other schools. So, I mean, in what ways do you think a teenager can get involved with abolition and all of that?
Well, that's the other thing I was mentioning, is that teenagers, they kind of have this problem that they see themselves as an adult in many ways, but at the same time, they seem to think that they don't have the experience necessary to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And in many ways, the way a teenager can deal with the problem isn't much different from the way an adult deals with the problem. They can go out and they can hold a sign, they can make videos and put them on the internet, or they can organize drives to try to raise funds to help care for mothers in need. There isn't a whole lot of difference.
Right. Now, earlier I heard you say call to leadership. You were expressing a need, young people, if you don't pick this up, you know what I mean, there's no future and this thing won't end. And then even your conviction on not wanting to pass this thing on to your children. Just explain your heart on that, or
I think it's a kind of a two-part thing. One, we're on the front lines, like I mentioned before, and so we have people that are far more experienced than us that should be in leadership, but at the same time, we do need to pick up the ball. We need to bear a huge part. We need to take more responsibility for what's going on. But in addition, it's also training later on the road, that if, God forbid, abortion continues, we need to be gaining all the experience we can, all the battle know-how in order to engage this later on the road. I mean, the fight against abortion is a non-physical battle, but if you're going to apply it, use an analogy of a physical battle, soldiers are constantly training. They're always trying to learn different tactics. They're constantly improving what they're doing. And it shouldn't be any different with us, that especially as youth, we should always be engaging the culture, because that's how we learn and that's how we get better, and that's how we're ultimately going to be able to end abortion.
Now, with being in high school is tough, because people are always wondering or worried about what people think about them, and this thing is mostly, it's cool to be pro-choice. What do you got to say to a young person who's concerned with that? I'm not asking you to be nice to them, but concerned with I don't want to be looking geeky, I don't want to look, I'm worried about being cool, or I don't know. What's your...
First off, I can completely relate to that, because all young people, you're always trying to fit into a peer group, you're trying to conform, you're trying to be well-liked. But the thing you have to remember, you have to get your priorities straight, is that even as young people, ultimately we answer to God, and our life here on earth is only temporary. And later on down the road, after this life is over, you're not really going to care what your friends in high school or college thought of you. You're going to care what the Lord of the universe thought of what you did here on earth. And so all I can say is that when you face that temptation to back down because of peer pressure, you have to think about the long-term implications and who you're really accountable to.
Right. And even the lives you can save by speaking up now. You know what I mean? One thing I regret is that I didn't go hard for God, and how many people would have came to Christ if I would have, spoken up about Jesus, especially if I would have known about abortion. How many people will follow our lead and not have abortions in the future? So, anyway, well, thanks, Stephen, man, for your words, man. Thank you for your ministry, man. And any last comments you want to say to any young person out there, just to kick them in the butt and say, let's do this thing?
Yeah, just that this is the evil of our age. There is nothing remotely that compares to it. It is the legalized child sacrifice of the most innocent and defenseless in our society, and that if we're not standing up to stop it, I think we're poor excuses for Christians, and we're not doing what Christ has called us to do.
Come on. Wow. Good. Pick up your cross, man up, tough up. Let's make history. All right. See you later. Say bye.
Bye.